This conference will now be recorded.
So in today's session, we see the test classes. So what exactly a test class? What is the use? How to prepare the test classes inside your Salesforce instance? And what is the need of preparing the test class? And how can we prepare the test classes and how can we maintain the code coverage of our code to ensure the quality of our code by using this automation script? We'll see practically today. We'll see after this. So now let's see the concept of test classes first, and what exactly the test class and how to prepare we'll see first. So why should we go for the test classes? What exactly it is basically? What is the use of this test class? What did you understood with the word test class?
Automating testing of the code which we have.
Okay. Automating the code which we have written to test the functionalities. Okay. Just for writing some scripts. Okay.
It is useful for code coverage. It is useful for code coverage.
Code coverage.
What the exact code we will use? What is the extra code?
No, not like that. Code coverage in the sense how much code is the quality of. Okay.
It is the global class.
No. It should be always by a target.
Annotation is useful.
At the rate is this. Then, what exactly is test classes?
What statement type of block it will be used for testing?
Okay, that will be doing by the testing people. They don't know what is test class. Test classes responsibility by our team. We need to prepare. Developer. Then, so what exactly the test class? No, listen. So in the last session, we have discussed about the Salesforce sandboxes in the landscape. So in the last session, we have discussed about the concept of sandboxes, where exactly we are implementing the application, we are testing the application, we are giving the demos to the client, we are giving the end users training also on the same sandbox, and finally, we are moving the application to the production. Okay. So for example, today, my technical lead has given some requirement to me, which I need to complete by this Friday. And then by Friday evening, we need to deploy the code to the production. So based on the requirement, I have implemented some piece of code. It will be by using triggers also, Bash class also, your Apex classes also, it may be web services also, APIs, wizards, anything, whatever. It may be configuration also, whatever. So now we're implementing the application functionalities inside my developer sandbox. From there, once application development has been done, the feature has been implemented, then we are doing the testing by ourselves. For our confirmation, whatever the feature, whatever the code that have written, it is working properly as per the customer's expectations are. So we are having the test that is called as unit testing. That is called as unit testing. That means unit means for each and every small piece of your application requirement. Every piece, every individual piece of your application requirement, how to test. Those are called as unit testing. Each and every unit piece, each and every functionality, each and every class, each and every method, each and every condition we have to test before moving this code to the other environments. It's our responsibility that we need to cross-check other developers. Unit testing is also one of the developer's responsibility. So in this case, upon doing this unit testing, we have two ways. Okay, we have two ways. One is manual, second one automation. First one is manual, second one automation. Now, in this case, how can we do it manual? How can we do it automation? For example, I have written some small trigger in order to convert the lead record as a customer, which are automatically. Whenever I'm changing the lead record status field values equals to post converted, automatically I want to convert the lead as a customer. For that one, I've written some piece of code by using trigger. So we are done with that code. Then after that code, we will test general. How to test that one? By creating some record. So create one lead record and then change that lead record status value to close. So whenever I'm updating the lead record, it has to verify if the lead record's status value has been changed to close converted. If it is close converted, it has to convert the lead record as a customer automatically. That means manually we are testing. Manually we are testing. Like that, as part of my module, I have written and have implemented so many functionalities. By spending some 1.5 months of time, I have implemented so many functionalities. Then how can we test all these functionalities one by one? Before moving this entire code to the Qubit environment or to the other environment, how can we test it? If you want to test it manually, one by one, by passing the values, by creating the record, updating the records, no, it will take more time. In this case, we are going to be automating the unit testing process with the help of some automation scripts which are called as test classes. By using the test classes, we are going to be writing some automation script. This is also we are writing by using the context programming only, but this code we are using to test application functionality as part of unit testing. As part of unit testing, once application development has been done, to test each and every functionality of your application requirement through automation scripts, we have to prepare the test classes. And then by using these test classes, what we can measure, we can able to measure how much code that we have written with the quality. That means how much percentage of your code is a quality. Why? Because whenever I'm going to be moving the code from the development to QA or the UAT or the stage and to the finally to production, now inside this code there is an issue that available, then it will be impacting on the cloud. Whenever it is moving the code to the production, upon running the application inside the production, if the code is giving some issue, automatically it is impacting on the cloud. So because of the server will be getting affected, because of other customers in the server will be getting impacted. So for that one, whenever we are going to moving the code to the production, always we have to make sure that the code is a quality code. But in this case, we can raise a question that nobody can satisfy the people 100%. Okay. Nobody can satisfy the people 100%. Even though they are giving more money to the people, they will expect some more. Okay. Even though the God is giving so many things to you, the people are expecting some more. There is no limit for the expectation. Like the similar way, whenever we are developing an application, we can't give the 100% free application. At least it may be having 1 or 2% issues may be there, may be getting arised. Suppose if you are giving the 100% free application to the people, then there is no chance of support. If you are giving the application with some issues, then they will come back to me again to get some support, so that they can generate some more revenue as well. Okay. So in this case, what happened? We can't be able to provide 100% free application to the customer. It's impossible. It's impossible to satisfy the people also to satisfy the application 100% free. In this case, whenever we are moving the code from our sandbox to the production, minimum we have to maintain 75% of the code should be the quality. Okay, 75% of your code should be a quality code. Then only your production instance will allow you to move your code to the production. Else it won't happen. Even though you may be implementing some hundreds of lines of code, thousands of lines of code, okay, overall your code should be minimum 75% of the code should be quality code. If you are maintaining more than 75, then fine, no problem. If you are maintaining less than 75, production won't allow. That means we can't deploy the application into the production. Okay, with less than 75% of the code. So production instance is always expecting minimum 75% of the code should be a quality code. So for that reason, to maintain the code quality, to measure your code quality, we are using some automation scripts with the help of testing classes. Through the testing classes, we are writing some piece of code. By using that code, we are going to be doing the unit testing through automation. Through automation. That means instead of testing your functionality by creating the class manually, we can do it through automation. The facility is available as part of testing classes. Okay. Now, so in this case here, how can we prepare the testing classes? Where for which components we will prepare? Now, in this case, testing classes will be prepared for few code components. So whatever the Apex classes we have prepared, whatever the triggers we have prepared, whatever the batch classes are the scheduled classes, whatever the batch classes are scheduled classes which we have prepared, whatever the web services are APIs which we have prepared, whatever the controller classes we have prepared as part of Visual Force programming, for these code components we have to prepare test classes. As part of Visual Force, you are having two parts: user interface part, business logic part. For user interface part, we don't have any test classes. For the business logic part, we need some test classes. Because there we are writing some code using Apex programming. We are writing some SOT queries, VML operations, all these things we can able to test it. Now, along with what configuration features we have implemented, like as creating the objects, fields, tabs, applications, and then validation tools, workflows, process builders, reports, sharing tools. For these kind of ready-made features, that means configuration features, testing classes are not required. Testing classes are not required for the configuration features. Testing classes are required only for the code which you have implemented as part of your application requirement. So that we are implementing the custom code by using Apex classes, by using triggers, by using batch classes or schedule classes, web services and the APIs, and our Visual Force controller classes. These are the various components which require the testing classes. So in this case, we have to write the testing classes for this code components, whatever we have implemented. So now this is not a new one, this is also similar like as a manual process. I will show you practically. Okay. So now here in this case, testing classes are used to prepare some automation scripts through which we can do the unit testing of your application. Okay. So which will be useful whenever I'm going to moving the complete code from the environment to the other environment. It may be to the QA also, to the stage also, UAT also, production also. At that time, the whole application functionality we have to test it once. Okay? The whole application functionality we have to test it once. Before giving to the client, we are going to testing the whole application functionality. So at that time, if the application is a complex application which is having some thousands of features, testing each and every feature manually one by one is taking more time. For that reason, we are going to be having some automation scripts through which we can able to test the whole application functionality in one shot. The facility is available as part of testing classes. Okay, now, so now testing classes are nothing but your Apex programming code. These are also the Apex programming code, nothing different. We'll see, because that will be very easy to prepare the testing classes also. Okay. Then how we prepare these testing classes? Now let's see. In this case, whenever we are going to moving the code from the sandbox to sandbox, the code coverage will not required. No need to maintain the testing classes. But whenever we are moving the code from your sandbox to production, at that time, code coverage is mandatory. Minimum 75% of the code will be quality code. The code coverage means the quality of it. Okay. In order to measure that code quality, we are using the code coverage. Code coverage means this is the code which we have covered, that is which we have tested perfectly through some automation scripts. Okay. So in this case, whenever we are moving the code from the sandbox to sandbox, that means it can be developed into QA, are given to UAT or UAT to state, then code coverage is not required. Upon moving the code from the sandbox to production, then only code coverage is mandatory. Minimum we have to maintain 75% of the code coverage, or else production server will not allow you to deploy your code. Even though you are having 74 also, it won't. Okay. Minimum we have to maintain 75% of the code coverage before moving your code into the production. RS production server won't be able to deploy the code. So that we can't deploy the code into the production server. Okay. So this is the fundamental principle has been given by Salesforce. Okay. Now in this case, you can raise the question, sir, for my entire organization, how much code coverage we have maintained, how can we measure? So this is overall organization wide. It is overall organization wide. Like for example, come to a scenario. Assume that I'm done with the first semester of some BTech. Okay, I'm done with the first semester of BTech. I've attended some 6 exams. I got some 85% of them. That means what? In every subject I got more than 85% of the marks. No. In one subject I got 95, in one subject 65, in one subject 70, in one subject 89, like that. That means overall we are having 85%. Like the similar way, inside my organization I'm having so many classes, so many triggers, so many batch classes, scheduled classes, web services, control classes, so many things are there. But overall we have to maintain 75% of the code. Okay, for one Apex class we can have 100%, for one Apex class 20%, for one Apex class 10%, for one batch class 1%, like that whatever it may be. But overall we should be having 75% of the code coverage without the maintain. For the entire organization wide, we have to maintain minimum 75% of the code coverage for the entire organization before moving the code to the production. Even though we are having 74.9 also it won't allow. A minimum 75% of the code coverage we have to maintain as part of the deployment. Okay. So in this case, how can we prepare this code coverage? Here, how can we estimate the overall organization code coverage? Where we can see that information, let me show you practically. If you want to measure your organization's code coverage, okay, at that time, we can able to go to that, your organization, go to the build menu on the left panel, click on develop, click on Apex classes. Now, click on Apex classes. Now here you will be having the information. Here we have a small link is available. Estimate your organization's code coverage. Okay. There is a link is available. Estimate your organization's code coverage. That means whatever the code coverage that you are remaining for your organization, then please we can able to execute it, and then we can able to see okay, the overall code coverage for your organization. Now I have a question. Click on this link. Now it is going to be estimating my organization code coverage. Now it is indicating what? What is the code coverage? 0%. Because we haven't prepared any testing classes as of, there is no automation scripts as of now, so it is indicating that 0%. Manually we have tested, okay, fine. But before moving the code to the production, okay, how can we assure that this code is a quality code or not? For that one, the system should be aware of that code coverage. For that reason, code coverage is going to be executing with the help of the automation scripts. So it is indicating for your organization code coverage is 0%. Your overall code coverage is currently 0. To deploy the code to the production, you must have at least 75% of the code coverage or else Salesforce won't allow. Okay. That means to measure the quality of your code available inside the organization, we are using the code coverage that is also called as testing classes. Okay. Clear? Now. So now we can look at this testing classes. Testing classes are used to measure the quality of the code, by using the automation scripts. By using the automation scripts. which can be prepared by using Apex program. Which can be prepared by using Apex program. By using test classes, we can perform the unit testing. We can perform the unit testing by using automation scripts. By using automation scripts. With the help of this automation scripts, you can able to perform the unit testing. Okay. Upon moving the code from sandbox to production, we have to maintain minimum 75% of code coverage. Else, production server won't allow to deploy the code. Production server won't allow to deploy the code. I'm giving the notepad. Sandbox to sandbox code coverage is not required. Sandbox to sandbox code coverage is not required. Sandbox to sandbox code coverage is not required. That means whenever we are moving the code from one sandbox to another sandbox, it may be development to QA or QA to UAT or UAT to stage. At that time, code coverage is not mandatory, that is not required. Testing classes should be prepared for the below code component. Testing classes should be prepared for the below code component. Testing classes should be prepared for the below code component, that is for Apex classes. That means business logic classes, triggers, batch classes, schedule classes, web services or APIs or your controller classes, or your Apex user first program. For the configuration features, testing classes are not required. Testing classes are not required for the configuration features. We no need to prepare any testing classes for the configuration. Configuration feature has to be get tested manually. No need to prepare any automation scripts. So in this case, how can we measure your organization-wide code coverage? How to verify each and every class level, trigger level, controller class level, code coverage? Now let's see practically. Okay. We can estimate the overall organization code coverage as below. We can estimate the overall organization code coverage as below. You can go to the setup menu, go to the build menu in the left panel, go to that develop Apex classes, and then click on the link estimate overall organization code coverage. Estimate overall organization code coverage. You can see that. Individual component level we can see. Component level means class level, trigger level also we can see. We can see the code coverage for each class, that means for each code component as well. For example, I want to see the code coverage for the Apex class. Then go to that setup menu, build menu, and then go to the develop and Apex classes. Open the required Apex classes. See the code coverage. See the code coverage of the class. See the code coverage of the class. This is one way by using standard navigation. Second way, we have developer console. There also we can verify the code coverage of each and every class and the overall also we'll see. By using developer console. Open the developer console editor. Expand the tab bar. Click on test tab. View the overall and component level code coverage. We can view the entire overall organization code coverage as well as component level, each Apex class level, trigger level, everything you can see by using this developer console also. Two ways are available in order to view the code coverage of each and every class and each and every code component. Okay, now, so let's see how can we see each and every component level code coverage one by one. So let's go to your organization. I'm having so many classes, it may be triggers also, whatever anything, if you want to see the code coverage of any of this component, just to open that class window. For example, I'm having that accounts helper. Inside this, I have written some code. I want to verify the code coverage. So in this case here, we are having the option. It is indicating along with the class name and the namespace prefix and the status, it is indicating the code coverage. It is indicating the code coverage is 0%. For this particular class, the code coverage is 0%. Now here it is indicating 0 or 5. Then what is this 5 basically? What is this 5? Code coverage, okay. Code coverage 0%. Class is only one. This class code coverage is 0%. Then why it is showing 0 by 5? I have how many debug statements? 6 debug statements.
We can take minimum 5 test classes.
What is class is sufficient? That means inside this particular class, we can able to test 5 conditions. What are those? We have to test the class first, and then the method, and then this one, third one, we have to test. Fourth one, we have to test this functionality condition. Fifth one, iterative stage. These are the 5 areas are there which needs to be get tested. Okay, these are the 5 areas are available which needs to be get tested. So that here we are having that 5 places are available, 5 areas are available which needs to be tested as part of this particular class. So it is indicating that we are having that 5 areas are there which needs to be tested. From this out of 5, 0 has been tested. Nothing but nothing has been tested as of now because we haven't prepared any testing classes as of now. So it is showing. It may be any component also. You can able to open that class code component. It may be class, it may be trigger, it may be dash class, whatever anything we can able to open. We can see the code coverage. For example, I'm opening the code coverage for one of my class. Like for example, let me go to my trigger. I'm having the auto lead converted trigger. So for this one, what is the code coverage right now? 0%. The 2 things are available which needs to be get tested. Okay. So it is indicating that we are having 2 things are available, 2 areas are available which needs to be tested, but nothing is tested as of now. So it is indicating the code coverage as 0%. Now this is one way to verify the code coverage of each and every code component. Okay. Now second way, let me go to the developer console. Go to the developer console. You know the tab bar is available in the middle of this user interface, this editor. As of now, we have used query editor, view state, and then problems, and then logs, everything. We have now used that test. Okay, tester tab. When you go to the tester tab, it is indicating overall code coverage percentage is 0%. Now it is indicating. So now the overall code coverage for this entire organization is 0%. It is indicating. Now here for class level, each and every class level it is indicating 0%. 5 lines are there which needs to be tested, but none of this line has been tested as of now. Now see that class, it is having that 7 lines are there tested. Accounts the share helper. Now it is having 17 lines of code is there which needs to be get tested, but none of these elements have been tested. So it is indicating each and every class level here. We can able to verify that. So what are the various areas are there which needs to be get tested? Each and every area will be getting listed out to you. So now here in this case, not only verifying the code coverage from the standard navigation from the developer console, also we can able to see that. Now it is indicating overall code coverage and as well as you will be having the organization class level code coverage also. For each and every class, what is the code coverage that we have, we can able to verify the whole information also inside this. Okay. So these are the 2 ways are available in order to verify the overall code coverage, and then along with that we can able to see the class level code coverage also. The facility will be availability inside this. Okay, clear? Now, so in this case, how can you prepare this test classes over? Classes, triggers also, it will be indicating contact trigger, each and every trigger, customer trigger, everything. All the batch classes, schedule classes, web services, APIs, everything will be getting populated.
So what is that file? You said those are conditions we need to test. If condition.
Conditions, for loops, SOT values, everything we have to test. Okay. So in this case here, we can able to use the test tab. Through this test tab also, we can able to verify the what is the overall code coverage that we have for your organization, individual class level, trigger level, class level, schedule level, web service level, everything we can able to test that code coverage also by using this the test. Okay, these are the two places that are available in order to verify that code coverage of your organization and then each and every individual component level code coverage. Now, in this case, how can we prepare this test classes in order to maintain the code coverage? Okay, in order to maintain the code coverage, how can we prepare this test classes? Now, let's see practically in this case. We can take each and every class and then we'll try to prepare the test classes for each and every. But it's not mandatory to have 100% for each and every class. For one class, 100%, for one class, 20%, for one class, 80%, like that. Okay, now. So now here in this case, whenever we are going to move in the code coverage, for example, I'm moving some components. For example, assume that as part of my application, I have developed some components. Okay, I have implemented some components. Like for example, I have implemented some components such as some two classes, class 1, which is having some 100% code coverage, class 2, which is having some 98% code coverage, class 3, which is having some 70% code coverage, and then I'm having a trigger which is having some 0% code coverage. But inside my organization, the overall code coverage is, for example, I'm having 80%. Overall code coverage is 80%. Now I want to deploy this. Okay. Now I want to deploy this. Then what will happen in this case? Now, in this case, overall is I'm having 80%. But whenever we are going to moving the overall code into your production, upon moving that overall code coverage should be minimum 75. But I'm having more than 75, that is 80, it is fine. But upon moving this code, okay, upon moving this code from your development environment to the test production, like maybe from QA also, UAT also, stage also, whatever. Upon moving this code to the production, even though you are having overall 80% of the code coverage, Salesforce won't allow. Why? Because is trigger should have minimum 1% of the code coverage. It's the fundamental principle. Every trigger should have minimum 1% of the code. Now you can raise a question. Sir, for example, I'm having an Apex class, okay, like some class 3 or the class 4, which is having some 0%. Is it possible? Yes. Apex class will be deployable even though it is having 0% code coverage, but overall should be a minimum 75. In the 75% of that code coverage, if there is an Apex class which is having 0% code coverage, Salesforce will allow. But trigger should have minimum 1% of the code coverage, or else production instance doesn't allow you to deploy the code. That's the problem. Okay, so that upon deploying the code to the production instance, every trigger should have minimum 1% of the code coverage. Okay, remaining class may be having 0%, it will allow by Salesforce. But trigger should have minimum 1% of the code coverage. It's a common question in every interview. So please remember this. They're not required. Inactive components are not required. Each and every? No, overall should be 75%. Okay, for the trigger, we can maintain minimum 1% of the code. Okay. No, inactive components will not be calculated. Now, so in this case, what happened? In order to test these functionalities, whatever the Apex classes we have written, for this one, we have to write the test classes also to test this functionality. Okay. So in this case, you can raise a question. So here is a best of time to write some more test classes. Already we have tested the classes by entering some values, by creating the records, by modifying the records. Then why we need to write this test classes again? which will be occupying some more lengths of code. But in this case, whatever the test classes you are going to prepare, the test class code will not be counting as part of your 60 characters limit. Okay, 60 characters code, committed lengths of code will not be counting as part of your 60 lakhs character limit of your organization. Okay, so that here, even though Salesforce is enforcing you to maintain the quality of the code by preparing the test classes, test class code characters will not be counting as part of your organization. Okay, your commented text will not be counted, test classes code will not be counted as part of that organization. Okay, now, so now in this case, how can we prepare these test classes? Now let's see practical. Test classes are also like as a normal class, so nothing else. Nothing different. It's a very simple to test the functionalities. Okay. So now let's see how can we prepare this test classes.
So that means developer should write the discussion.
We have to write. Okay. It's our developer's responsibility because here wherever you go for any project for any programming, unit testing is developer's responsibility. We have to test each and every functionality manually. Once application development has been done, if you are done with your piece of code, module also, small feature also, user story also, it may be epic also, whatever once you have developed that, then we have to test that functionality perfectly. Okay? By using manual, by using automation code. Okay? Automation in the sense we are not using any tools. Okay, we are not using any tools, we are writing some code by using the Apache. So writing the test classes is also one of our responsibility. We have to write. So whenever we are building any of this component as part of your application requirement, we have to prepare the test classes. Okay. For the remaining components, test classes are not required. Like if you are building any validation tools, workflow rules, process builder, reports, sharing rules, for those things, that is not required. Test classes are not required. Test classes are not required for the configuration features. For the configuration features and for the Visual Force user interface part, especially design part. Okay, for that one testing classes are not required. For the backend, the control class we need to write the testing class. Okay. So in this case, how can we prepare the testing classes over? Whenever we are preparing the testing classes, we have to use an annotation called as use the test annotation. Is the test annotation. Each and every test class should be prepared with the help of an annotation is a test. That means Salesforce is going to be indicating. Okay, now this keyword is indicating to the topics compiler. This is a test class which has been prepared by the developer to test a specific application functionality. So please don't count these particular characters for inside your organization limitations. Okay. Please don't count these particular characters inside your organization limitation. So this is only for the testing purpose we have implemented, not for the actual business logic. This is only for the testing purpose. So we have to implement each and every test class by using an annotation called as is a test. Then how to prepare that? What is the syntax? Now let's see practical. Make it. Each test class should be prepared with the annotation is a test. Is a test. Is a test is the annotation which is going to be indicating this is a test class. Now, syntax. Specify the access specifier. Class. Before that, it should be having an annotation is a test. We have to write the code in order to test that specific code component. Upon preparing the test class, you have to follow some notation. Okay. Upon preparing the test classes, you have to follow some standard notation. Now, while preparing the test class, follow the below notations. Best practices. That means what will be the name of the test class over? For example, I'm having a normal Apex class. That means business logic class. My business logic class name is accounts handler. My business logic class name is accounts handler. Then what will be the test class name? Okay, in this case, you can specify accounts handler test. This is one part. That means here at the end of that class, we can able to add that word test to indicate this is a test class. For which class we are doing the testing here by using this class. This test class is used to test an Apex class called as account handler. Okay, it is clearly indicating that accounts handler is an actual class. To test the class code, we are preparing a test class with the name accounts handler test. This is one notation. Next part, the second standard is we can use that underscore test with the second notation. Third one, test underscore the class. And the fourth one, that using the test accounts handler. These are the four notations. From this four, any one of the notations you can able to follow. But it's not a rule, it's a best practice. When you go to the organization, any one of these four formats, those people will follow. Okay. So any one of this format we have to follow because it is our easy identification only. For our easy convenience, we are going to preparing this kind of formats. Because here, whenever we are looking into the class directly, we can understand. Suppose if you know this particular class name, okay, simply if I know this class name, then what is the test class for this name? How can you identify? Yes. In this case, we can able to indicate for my class, this is the test class name is okay. Accounts handler test. Suppose here I know this class name. This is the class name. Do you know is it a normal class or test class? Test class. How do you know? It is having the keyword test. Now this test class we are using for what? To test which class we want to test. Account handler class. That's it. So easy identification. Even though if you know the normal class, if you know the test class, you can able to map. That will be very easy to identify. Yeah, for that one, these kind of standards and notations they are following in the implementations part. So that any one of this notation we can able to follow. So now when you go to the organization which we are going to join, okay, we have to verify what kind of notation that following. If it's standard, we can follow the same. Okay. So the people are going to follow any one of the standard notations upon preparing the test classes for our easy identifications. Now, so now we have to prepare the test class, okay, by using the is a test annotation. Now is a test annotation is going to be indicating this is a test class. Then upon preparing the test class, we are specifying the access specifier. This access specifier can be either public or private. That's it. It should not be global. Test class should not be a global class. Okay, test class can be either private or public, not much. Generally, when you try to create a normal Apex class with a private access specifier, Salesforce won't allow. But the testing class, you can make it as private because testing classes are executing within my organization, not outside the organization. So that we can't define it as global. It should be always either private or public. Any one of them. Okay. Now, so in this case, these are strictly executing within my organization itself because whenever I'm moving the code from my organization to the another organization, then we need to execute the testing classes. So that these are executing within my organization. Further reason here always it should be either public or private, not global. Okay. For example, let me try to create a normal class. I'm preparing a normal class, sample class. Now this is a normal class which is a public. For example, I'm making this class as private then. Will it be able to access that? Let me try to save. Class has been saved here. No, it is indicating the error message to you. There is a problem. Okay, now it is indicating the problem. Top level class must be either public or private. Suppose, for example, let me make this class as at the rate test. Let's say will be accepting or not. It is accepted. That means here that already told you in our starting classes itself during the access specifiers concept. Okay, whenever I'm defining the class access specifier should be the business logic class access specifier should be either public or global. If it is a testing class should be either public or private access specifier can be applicable on the variable level and on the class level, where we can apply the private access specifier for the testing classes, not for the business logic class. Okay. Already I have given the clear points inside your notes also, okay, during the access specifiers concept. Now, so in this case, upon preparing the testing class, we can able to make it as either private or public also, but it should not be global. Now make a note. Testing class should be defined with the access specified either public or global. Sorry, public or private. Public or testing class should be defined where the access specified either public or private. It should not be global.
There also is access to the outside of the
No, these are not executing outside. These will be executing within our organization. If it is having more than 75% overall, then only it will be going to the production or else it portable. Clear? Now. So now here in this case, how to prepare this testing classes? Now let's see. Whenever we are going to preparing the testing class and how to write that. Okay, now let's see practically here one by one. Now the step one. Prepare the testing class. Prepare the testing class. That means at the end is a test annotation. Specify that, for example, private class name. We can write that. Write that. Upon preparing the testing class, first of all, prepare a testing class. Inside the testing class, prepare a testing method. Prepare a testing method. Prepare a testing method. How to prepare the testing method? Now let's see practical. Okay. Inside the prepare a method. Private test method void method name. Write the logic to test the code purpose. As a step 2, prepare the test method inside the test class. Testing method should be always we have to use the keyword testing method because to indicate that this is the testing method which will be executing automatically. Upon invoking that, okay, upon invoking this testing class, it will be invoking the testing method. From there, it will be executing this business logic to test your code components. Okay. Step 3. Execute or invoke the test class by using run test method. By using run test method. In this case, open the test class, click on run test method. Click on run test method. So these are the 3 steps are available whenever we are going to preparing the test classes. In standard navigation, open the test class and then click on run test button, which will be executing the test classes. Done? So now let's see in this case how to prepare this normal class and how to prepare a test class. Now let's see practically inside this. Okay. Now, so let me prepare a small class. Let me prepare a small class to perform some mathematical operations. And then let me show you how to prepare the test class for this and how many ways are there to execute the test class, how to verify which lines of code has been tested, which lines of code is not yet tested, what is the code coverage, how to verify, we'll see practically with the multiple methodologies. Okay. Let me show you practically. For example, I'm preparing a small class, a mathematical class to perform some mathematical operations. I'm preparing a class. I'm preparing a class with the name math operations class. Inside this, I'm preparing some methods. Public static void addition. I'm passing the 2 parameters, integer x and the integer y. I want to show them. Addition result is I want to show the x plus 1. This is one way. Okay, I'm preparing the first method, the second method. Public static void multiply integer x, integer y, integer z. I'm going to be indicating multiply result is, you can specify that value x into y into z. Public static void subtraction I'm passing 2 values, integer x comma integer y. Subtraction result is x minus 5. I'm defining one more method. Division. Integer x comma integer y. I want to show that. Standard debug. Division result is x by y. So these are the four methods I have written inside my class. I have written the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the division. Four methods I have written. This is my Apex class. So now tell me for this class how much or what is the code coverage that we have? What is the code coverage that we have for this class? 0%. How do you know? We haven't declared any testing classes, just it will be having 0% of code. So let me verify. So I want to go to the class. Okay, my class name is math operations class. So we have to go to that math operations class. We have to go to this Apex classes. We have to. But in this case, I will give you one small option to you to open that class. Better to install a small plugin. Okay, better to install a small plugin that is called as Apex Advanced Code Searcher. Okay, Apex Advanced Code Searcher, which is one of the extension for your Chrome browser. So which will be indicating like this. Okay, which will be indicating like this. So in this case, if you want to know inside your entire organization how many classes you have written, everything you can able to see. It is indicating total number of Apex classes are 38. If you want to see Visual Force pages, it is indicating Visual Force page code is 28. And then triggers, we are having that 7 triggers. It will be counting automatically. Custom objects, it is indicating 7. Email templates, it is indicating 18. We are having that workflow rules. It is indicating that, counting that how many number of workflow rules are available inside my organization. It will be counting that whole information. So these kind of tools are very, very helpful to you. Upon opening that class also, upon verifying that classes information will be very, very helpful to us. Just we can able to install this plugin into your Chrome browser. It's an extension for the Chrome browser. If you want to add this one, just to go to your Chrome browser, you will be having the last option. The settings option is available. Go to that more tools. We have an option extension. Here we can able to search. Already we have added one extension called as Salesforce Advanced Code Searcher. Okay, just you can able to go to that once you click on the extension, it is providing a empty window. Okay, here you can able to have a search text box. You can specify. So now Salesforce Advanced the Code Searcher. You will be able to see that. Already have installed that one, that's what it is showing this one. Or else you will be able to see that list over here. Click on that one, add it to Chrome. That's it. It will be adding the extension automatically. From there onwards, you can able to see the details. Suppose if you want to open a particular class, okay, if you want to open a particular class, what is my class name here? We have prepared math operation. Just we can go to that. Okay, go to the extension controller. Here we can specify the class name. What is my class name? Math operation. Okay. Math operation class or what? Math operations class. Okay. Just to press enter, we can able to open that class directly. We no need to go to that build menu and then cover Apex, search for the class, nothing. Simply we can specify the class name, few characters should be listing out the similar kind of class names, and we can able to directly open that class also. So now it is indicating that 0% of the code coverage is available right now for my class. So this is the 0% code coverage. Currently for my math operations class, I am having 0% code. So now tell me how to test it right now. General part. Forget about testing classes, all these things. How to test it? Forget about testing class. Manually, no to do that. Okay. Just you can go to the execute anonymous window. Then class name, math operations class dot addition, and indicating the value. Some 100 comma 5. Second method, math operations class dot multiply. I'm passing this value 100, 456, 23. Math operations class dot subtraction. I'm passing this value 909 and then some 7. Math operations class division. I'm passing the value 3400 and something. I'm passing this. Now we are executing this class code. We are executing this lista code. We can test whether all these methods are working properly. We can see the result. The same thing we are going to be doing with the help of testing class also. Just now to copy this code, okay, paste this code inside your test. That's it, nothing else. Okay, and then, so in this case, I'm preparing a testing class right now. Let's go to the testing class. Prepare a testing class. Testing class is also normal Apex class. Prepare a testing class. What is my class name now? Math operations class. Now this class I would like to make it as a testing class. What we can do? Next. Test method. Void test math operations. You can give any name for your method. I'm pasting this for one. Math operations test. We have that testing method. Void test math operations. What is the problem? Start. Okay. No. So now we are having the testing method. We have prepared a testing method, okay, which will be giving any name whatever you want. It should be always void. It should be a test. Starting. Now I want to execute this. Okay, I want to execute this testing class. So this is my testing class. Now tell me any different programs not new, completely same like as the previous testing process. But now what I am going to do is, previously we are writing this code inside the execute anonymous window, click on execute. But now what I want to do is, I would like to execute this testing class simply by using the button called as run test. Okay, run test. So in this case, I would like to execute this testing class. Let me show you the multiple ways how can we execute the testing classes. Let me go with the standard navigation first. I'm opening the testing class. Math operations test. This is my actual class which is having the code coverage 0%. And having the testing class is also available. Okay. Now if you want to execute the testing class or normal class, let's see the difference. See. So this is the normal class, this is the testing class. Here we are having delete button, yeah, delete button, delete button. Download, download. Here we are having security, security. Store dependency, store dependency. For the testing class, we are having additionally one button called as run test. By observing the print test button, we can understand is it a testing class or a normal class. We can identify easily. Okay. Now it is having the testing classes available. Right? So now here I'm having the testing class right now. I want to execute this testing class. For that, now click on run test. Once you click on run test button, testing class will be going to the queue. It will start executing. Now the testing class is in the queue. Now it is in the queue status right. It will be executing. So it will start execute the testing class. It will indicate whether the testing class is pass or fail. If the testing class is pass, we'll be getting a green color tick mark, or else we'll be getting the red color cross mark. Testing class may be failed. So now in this case, it is going to be in the queue status still. Whenever the resources becomes available to start executing that, and it will be indicating the status also whether testing class is pass or fail. Still it is in the queue status. Let me refresh this user interface. Still it is in the queue status. So now it is indicating the testing class has been passed, which is indicating a green color tick mark over. Okay. Now my testing class has been passed. Now let's go back to the actual class. Refresh this user interface. What is the code coverage now? 100%. The 4 methods are available inside my class has been tested perfectly. So it is indicating the code coverage of my math operations class is 100%. Okay, this is one way. Suppose, for example, I have modified this class code. Now click on again, test code coverage will go to that 0. It will be indicating code coverage because you have clicked on edit button. Might be how you did some changes inside. That's so we have to retest again. But that is that will be indicating the code coverage as 0%. Now let me show you how can we execute this testing class by using another method. Second way. In order to execute the testing class, as of now what we did, we now go to the Apex class. That means the testing class, whatever we have prepared, click on the run testing. That is one way. Let me show you the second mechanism. Go to your Salesforce instance. You will be having the develop menu. In the develop, we have an option called as Apex Test Execution. There is an option called as Apex Test Execution. Open this. Here, select the Apex class which you want to execute. You can select the Apex class which you want to execute. Here we are having an option called as select the test. Now it is populating that whatever the test classes are available, all the test classes will be getting populated. So now here I would like to execute this test class and then click on run. Automatically this test class will be getting placing inside the queue. From there it will start executing. This is the second mechanism to execute the test class. First one is go to the test class code, click on run test button. Second one, go to the develop and go to that Apex test execution. From there select the Apex class which you want to execute. Okay. Now this is the second mechanism. Third one. Now you can raise a question. So for example, inside my organization, I'm having 100 test classes. Today I'm going to be delivering the application to the QBI when we execute all this. But that one, the third mechanism, let me explain. Go to the develop, click on Apex classes. Here we have a button called run all test. Okay, run all test. So whatever the testing classes we have prepared inside your organization, all the testing classes will be getting executing one by one automatically. Whenever we are doing the system testing, or before using the application to the QA or to the production, we are going to testing all the functionalities at least once. But manually testing is, it will take more time, so that we are having the simplest option. Run all test, it will be testing all the functionalities in one shot. Okay, like as an automation. This is the third mechanism. The fourth one, go to the developer console. Okay, go to the developer console. Write your test class. Okay, write your test class. Click on run test. Okay, run test button. Here we are having a button called as run test button. By click on this run test button, we can able to run the test class also. Here also we can able to verify. Okay, clear? Understood the concept here? These are the four things. First way is go to the test class, click on run test button. Second one, go to the develop Apex test execution. There we can select the Apex class. Third one, develop Apex classes, click on run all test button. Third one. Fourth one, go to the developer console, open the test class, click on run test button. These are the four ways are available in order to execute your test class. Okay, any one of the way, whatever the way you feel comfortable, you can use that any one of the way to execute your test classes. Okay. Clear? Now, for example, assume that I'm committing this line of code. I'm saving this code. How many lines are available now? How many methods I'm testing right now? 3 methods. Let me execute my test class right now. This is my actual class. Here is my actual class. Now I'm executing the test class right now. My test class is math operations class test. Let me execute this. Click on run test. My test class has been executed successfully. It is indicating that status as successful. Now go to your actual class. Refresh the user interface. What is the code coverage now? 75%. Okay. Because why? 3 methods you have tested, 1 method is not tested. Which method you haven't tested here? How do you? Here I am having only 4 simple methods. When you go to the real time, thousands of lines of code will be there. Okay. How do you know which lines of code is not tested? How can we measure? How can we identify? No, that is different. Trace flags are different. For the debugging purpose. In this case, go to the developer console. Okay. Go to the developer console. Go to the tab. Click on test. Okay, click on test. So now regarding which class you want to verify, there is a class called as math operations class. So now let's go to your math operations class to the left side, right side. My class is available here. Math operations class. Double click on this class, it will be indicating that what lines have been tested, what lines are not tested. Whatever the lines have been tested, whatever the methods have been tested, those will be highlighting with the blue color. Okay, not tested lines will be indicating with the red color highlighting here. You can able to identify which lines have been tested, which lines are not tested. This option is available only in the developer console, not in the standard navigation. So, upon writing the test classes to identify which methods have been tested, which methods are not tested, which lines have been covered, which lines are not covered, to know, we have to go in the developer console. Just to go to the test, double click on that class name, it will be indicating that what lines have been tested, what lines are not tested. The tested lines of code will be indicating with the blue color highlighted, and then the not tested lines of code will be indicating with the red color, the highlighting option. Now, for example, so let me go to my class. I'm going to uncommenting this one. I'm saving this class right now. I went to the test class. I have modified that class code, and then I am going to be placing all the 4 methods. Now let me execute the run test. My test class has been executed successfully. Let's go to the tab bar. Double click on this class right now, math operations class. Now it is indicated that all the 4 methods has been tested perfectly. so that we can able to identify what lines have been tested, what lines are not tested. Directly we can see with the help of the color coding notation. The tested lines will be getting visible with the help of blue color highlighting, and then not tested lines will be getting visible with the red color highlighting part. Okay, this is the way we are going to be preparing the test class. Okay, clear? Now tell me, is it difficult to prepare the test class? No, right? So because we are preparing the class, we are preparing the test class. Then fine. Suppose if a business logic has been prepared by somebody else, then how to prepare the test class? For example, I have written some class code. Okay, I have written some class code. For example, okay, let me explain. For example, I'm giving a small class to you, okay, to prepare a test class. I'm giving this a trigger code. Okay. I'm giving this a trigger code, okay, which I have prepared on the feed item object regarding the chapter functionality. So this is the trigger code I'm providing to you to prepare the test class. Now, in this case, directly we'll be able to write the test class. Or first of all, you have to understand the code. You have to understand the logic first. Suppose if the business logic has been prepared by you and the test class also preparing by you, then we can understand very easily because actual business logic also I have written. So I can know the functionality what I have prepared. Suppose if somebody has prepared that class code, then first of all what needs to be done? We have to understand the functionality first. So what exactly the code, what it is doing that, how many conditions they have written, and then what is the functionality it is doing right now. So everything we have to understand the functionality first, then only we can able to write that code. Okay. So whenever we are joining into the organization, sometimes they will be giving some testing classes also to you initially. Okay, they will ask you to write some testing class. To give you the actual business logic classes, which have been prepared by somebody else, then we have to prepare the testing classes also. Okay, if testing classes are already there, then no problem. Sometimes they will ask you to improve the code coverage also. Already they are having some 75%. They might ask you to do that. They will be giving your business logic class. Please write the testing class to improve the code coverage from 75 to 95. So at that time, you should be able to understand the business logic first. Then only we can able to write that piece of code inside this. Okay. So in this case, when you go to the organizations, they will be giving that the small requirements, small business logic classes also to you, so that here we can able to write that the testing classes also. For each and every class, we have to prepare testing classes also. Okay. So whenever we are going to be preparing the controller classes or business logic classes for everything, you have to prepare the testing classes also for your code to maintain the code coverage. You have to implement the business logic. Clear? So whatever the code that we are going to implement, okay, as part of the organization, that code may be prepared by yourself or that code will be given by some other people also. We have to prepare the testing classes also in this case. Okay. So whenever they have given any business logic class prepared by somebody else, then we have to prepare the testing class by looking into the code first. First of all, analyze the code, what kind of operations are performing here, based on that, write the testing classes. Okay. Clear up to now? how to write a normal business logic class, how to prepare the test class. Clear? Now, for example, so let me take a batch class. Let me take a batch class. So let me take a batch class. For example, I'm having this a batch class. I'm having this batch class, which we have prepared in order to calculate the total revenue of all the lead records. So whatever the lead records are available for all these lead records, we are collecting the lead records information, and then we are going to be collecting each and every lead record's annual revenue value, and I would like to calculate the total. For that one, we have implemented the function. Okay. We have implemented the functionality by using a batch class. Now I want to prepare a test class for this batch class. Now currently this batch class code coverage is 0%. I want to prepare a test class for this batch. Now then how can we do this one? Now let's see practically in this class. As preparing the test class. Now, I'm preparing a new test class. So what is my class name? I'm creating a test class with the name calculate leads total revenue to batch job test. Okay, here's the test class. I'm making this class as a test class. For that, I'm indicating at the rate is test. I'm preparing a method public static test method void test total revenue. Then what needs to be done? We need to invoke the batch class. How to invoke the batch class? How to invoke the batch class? Create object of the batch class and then database dot execute batch class. Okay, execute batch. So I'm creating the object of the batch class. Calculate leads total revenue batch job. Leads batch equals to new. Calculate leads total revenue batch job. I'm creating the object and involving database dot execute batch. Leads batch. Okay. We are going to be invoking this batch class over here by creating the batch class object. But in this case, when this batch class has been getting executed, what it is expecting, it is collecting some data from where? From the lead. Then, in this case, what happens? From where it is collecting the lead record from the lead object? No. Whenever I'm going to be executing the test classes, test class will not be touching your actual records. Your existing records inside your object will not be touched by the test classes. Because if something went wrong, your actual data will gone. Maybe that records may be important for you. So in this case, it won't touch your actual record. So in order to invoke this particular batch class, whatever the lead records are required, we have to prepare this lead records inside the test class. We have to insert first. Then only we can able to execute this batch class. This is the fundamental principle. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to be executing this batch class, but the batch class is collecting some lead records information, but we are not inserting any lead record, but it won't collect any lead record from the lead object. So without the lead record, it can't calculate anything, so that the application will not be getting tested. So whatever the lead records are required for this batch class, we have to provide the lead records. Then how we need to insert the lead record first? Then how can we insert the lead record? We know. I'm using that list of lead. List leads equals to new list of. I'm indicating that for each and every integer, counter equals to 1, counter less than or equals to some 50, counter plus. I'm creating the lead records. Lead some LD equals to new lead. LD dot first lead. Test LD dot last lead record. LD dot email. Test at the rate from gmail.com. LD dot company. LD dot status. Working contractor. LD dot phone. I'm giving the value. LD dot fax. LD dot rating. I'm giving some value. LD dot industry. I'm indicating some education. LD dot annual revenue, some 56 lakhs. I'm passing this value. And then I'm adding this lead record. What is the collection? LSD groups. Add up. And then we now insert them. Insert LSD. Okay. So we are going to be executing this. First of all, what we are doing, we are going to be inserting the required lead records, and then we are going to be executing this batch class. Upon executing the batch class, what the batch class will do? It is dividing the whole records into various small pieces. Keep on, it is going to be executing batch by batch, batch by batch, batch by batch. In this case, in this case here. Now to avoid those download limits, okay, because for every batch it is going to be making the download limits will be getting refreshed. To refresh the download limits for each and every batch, we have to use a method called as test.startTest and then test.startTest. Whenever we are executing any batch classes or scheduled classes actually get executed in between test.startTest and then test.stopTest. Whenever I'm executing this particular batch classes in between the start test and the stop test, then what it is going to do is it is going to be bypass the download limits automatically. Okay, it will bypass the download limit automatically by default. What happened to this? We have indicated this test class, public static test method. We have prepared that method. Lead records. We are preparing the lead records inside this object. Method does not exist or incorrect signatures. But it's showing this method. Method is already there. So let me check it out. These methods are available, but still it is showing the method, but it is giving the current message because method does not exist. Already method is available here. So let me check it out. Let me make it as private. We have these two methods, start test and the stop test. Both the methods are available inside this class. Let me verify. So why it is giving this? It might be in my class, my system. Do we have any class with the name test? The problem. Okay. So we have a class with the name test. That's what it's referring to in the local class first. Now, so in this case, whenever we are going to be executing the batch classes, always the batch classes are to be executed between the tested dot start test, the tested dot start test. Because here, whenever I'm executing this batch class in between this tested dot start test and stop test methods, it will bypass the kernel limits. That means whenever it is executing one batch, once the batch is over, then automatically it is going to be resetting the kernel limits. So that we can able to get that the first kernel limit for each and every batch, so that it should not have any disturbance or not processing all the batches available inside your batch program. Now, so now let me execute this batch class right now, test class. So let me go to my Salesforce instance. Now, so this is my test class right now that we have. I'm having the coverage is currently 0%. Now let me open my test class also. I'm opening my test class also now. So this is my test class. Now I'm going to be executing this test class right now. Before that, let me show you one more thing. Inside my batch class, we have used one method called as messaging utility dot send the batch of status notification email. Let me open this class also. Messaging utility class. Okay. Messaging utility class also. So now here I'm having only one method is available. Currently, the code coverage is 0%. Now, observe what will happen there in this case. Whenever I'm going to be executing this test class is going to be invoking the batch class. The batch class will be getting invoked. It will test the batch class, and then the batch class internally invoking this message utility class. So this class also will be getting testing automatically. Okay. So currently, messaging utility class is showing 0%. Batch class is showing 0%. Now I'm executing this one. Let's see what will happen in this case. Click on run test button. I'm executing this test class. Now my test class has been passed. Let's go to that batch class, refresh the user interface. What is the code coverage right now? 100%. Let me go to the messaging utility class because the batch class internally calling this messaging utility. This will be also testing automatically. This will be having 100%. So if there are some linking classes are available, linking methods are available, those will be testing automatically. No need to write a separate testing class for this method. No need to write a separate testing class for your batch class like that. Whenever I'm going to be having some chaining process are available, all the methods will be getting tested automatically by default, starting to ending of the chaining process. Okay. Here. So let me place this batch class also. Clear? So this is the way we are preparing the test class. Tomorrow we'll see two more examples. How can we prepare the batch test classes for your triggers? How to prepare the test classes for your user force control classes, etc. And then we'll see that sandbox creation concept, how to create the sandbox. Okay. And along with that, we'll be having the deployments also, how to deploy the code from sandbox to the production.